Okay. Alright. I think I'm okay now. No, I'm not crying, you're crying. Get it together, dude. Get it together. Get it together. Let's do this. Let's do this review. I'm reviewing A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. So this film is basically based on the article that was written based on the true life friendship between Fred Rogers and Tom Junod. Now, Tom Junod in this film went through a different name, Lloyd Vogel. Don't know why they went with that one though. Tom Hanks gives yet another strong performance that is actually really subtle. It's simple of the performance that he gives of Mr. Rogers. It's so, what's the word I'm looking for? Pure. It's pure, okay? It's just one of the purest performances I've ever seen in an actor. One of them, not the one, but one of them. Like, you really think it's him. You really think it's Mr. Rogers on the screen there, because he just becomes the role. And Tom Hanks can do no wrong with this role. He was made for this role. He was not made. He was born. He was born for this role. And there's no one in the world that I believe could have done this role even better, could have done justice to the man who created, I don't know how to say this, became a household name for basically the past 2 generations, essentially. Every time he would talk or look into the camera, there's moments where he did that, you just felt calm. You just felt like nothing else mattered. You were just at peace somehow. Like, you go in this movie feeling angry about anything you wanted. You could be angry at your family. You could be angry about the takeoff food you just had. You could be angry about a pencil that won't sharpen right. It doesn't matter. When you go into this movie and you hear him talk to you, nothing matters. Like, how Tom Hanks will always be one of the best human beings ever in this world. That's why he deserves to be Mr. Rogers right now. Like, if he had his own show just like Mr. Rogers, I'd watch it. I'm done. I'm watching it every day on PBS. I don't care how to find it. I'll pay subscription. I'm watching. Matthew Rice is also in this. He plays the character of Lloyd Vogel in the film. Of course, the real name, like I mentioned earlier, is Tom Junod, but he goes by Vogel. He did a really good job as this character who was struggling that, like, Mr. Rogers wanted to help. He did a really good job of bringing the emotional depth that of like a real life reporter or like a magazine writer would actually go into this thinking, yeah, this guy's a little bit sketchy. He's too nice. Like, he's too much of a saint. And there's no doubt people probably thought that. There's no doubt about that. It's within reason people be like, this guy is a little off. He's too nice. He doesn't get angry in front of people. What's wrong with him? And that's the perspective that he goes with to write his article about him. It's supposed to be a puff piece, but he tries to go more investigative in a sense. And he bounces off with Tom really well. They bounce off well enough against each other, and it just creates a more sincere environment. If you don't recognize Matthew Rice, he's also in the show The Americans, and he also played opposite Tom Hanks actually, and Meryl Streep, I believe it was, in The Post. So they actually worked together, and they just had great chemistry in this film. They just really, really worked. We have Chris Cooper. He plays an integral role in the film that bounces off the Vogel character, okay? He shows up and then he actually helps develop the process of what's going on. He's just like a B character that pushes the A story a little bit. Of course, you even recognize him. He had some small roles in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, The Muppets, The Town, Susan Kelechi Watson. I'm gonna give her props because, again, she brings the emotional depth that she brings in her other great role in This Is Us. If you haven't seen This Is Us, watch This Is Us. You'll see her. She's a powerhouse. I'll say that right now. She brings the opposite, like, wife performance from Vogel, and it works. She brings an emotional gravitas into this and makes it more emotional. Like, show the struggle of what he's going through and how it's affecting his family, his newborn child, and how it's affecting her. And it just, at this point, it's repetition. It works. It works. Okay, that's all I'm gonna be saying from now on. It just works. Boom. That's it. There are moments in the film where you feel like maybe it's dragging a little bit, but it's actually calm. It's the calm element. Like, it's so quiet that you start leaning in forward. I found myself leaning in forward, like, okay, what's happening? And then I noticed, no, it's part of it, because that's how Mr. Rogers was. He was just calm, quiet, talk to you in a sincere manner. And that's what pulled you in, ironically enough, pulling us in our seats. We have all the nostalgia in the world on this very set. We have those puppets. We have the whole set of the TV show. it's all there, and you feel it. You feel like you're young again. You're watching him explain the darkness in the world in a way you can understand it, and you feel calm. It's a calmness that you feel over this film. It's not like an intense drama. It's a telling of a story of a friendship that builds out of suspicion. Best way I can say that. Of course, there are some gripes I have with it, but I'm not gonna say anything because those are kind of like spoilers, okay? That's spoiler territory, and I don't do that here. I don't go near those spoilers. So, yes, it had some things I question a little bit, but overall, the overall experience to me was life-changing, to say. Is that too much? Do I sound too preachy? Do I sound like this is altering my life? Not necessarily. This isn't gonna change my life entirely, obviously. It's just a film that's based on a true story, but it does inspire me in certain mannerisms in my life to change, and that's what a good film should do, and that's what this film does. It kind of like leads you to be better, because Tom Hanks as Mr. Rogers shows you that you can be better. He tells you repeatedly, every life is precious. And you feel that. Guys, in the end, this is a movie for everybody. I highly recommend it. Definitely gonna buy it myself whenever it comes out on Blu-ray. And I'm gonna go ahead with the rating here. I'm gonna go ahead and give A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood 4.5 out of 5 stars. That half is because of the gripes that I have that I will not mention because this is spoiler-free territory. What a film, basically. It's like an extended version of one of his episodes. Basically, he's presenting a friend, tells a story, and it just goes from there, and you feel it. It's the calm before the big blockbuster films kick back in. In the spirit of Mr. Rogers loving on everybody, today's unofficial sponsor is you guys. You guys for willingly watching, the few of you do, if not all of you, that watch these videos, that give me some motivation to keep doing this. And I love you all, and you are all precious and special to me. You guys are my unofficial sponsors. Not monetary wise, but motivation wise. Comment below, let me know what you thought about my review if you're going to watch it, and if you do, let me know what your thoughts are. If not, if you want to leave a nice comment, I'll reply back with a nice comment too, because everybody needs to feel a little bit of love these days, honestly. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Of course, for quick to read reviews, you can check out my Letterboxd account, link in the description below. Brief 1 to 2 sentence summaries of my reviews. It's free, it's there, check it out. If not, doesn't hurt me, doesn't hurt you, but it's there for your own convenience, basically. And of course, guys, thank you for watching.